Alright, it's about time for this head to come off. I've started loosening the bolts on the intake manifold and exhaust manifold. And well, I was able to pull the thermostat housing off of this one. Thermostat popped out after a little bit of percussive maintenance. This one looks good. So I've at least got one good thermostat housing. Just got to go get a thermostat to fit it. But I am working on getting this head pulled. To hold the exhaust and intake manifolds in place, there's this concave shaped piece of metal. The pointy bit goes towards the pointy bit goes towards the exhaust. The wide part goes towards the intake. I don't know how wise that was. I'm thinking not very. Because this linkage is now kind of crammed over here. Yeah, that weren't the smartest of. Let's see. You take back that away. There he is. Alright. This doohickey has got to come out. Somebody didn't put that cutter pin in right. So, I've got the intake manifold loose. Let's see if I can just kind of pull it off to the side for now and pull the head without completely disconnecting all the stuff. That might turn out disastrous. Or not. It's completely clear. I think the bolts going down the center of the rocker shaft and the bolts to the side just need to come off. And these are all 11/16. Oh, here's my dipstick. And just spray everything. So, the other ones have been nice and rusty. This one looks like it's got carbon all over it. I think I might have the blown head gasket. Alright, it's just that one bolt that is gonna fight me all the way out. Just sprayed more penetrating oil in it. Hopefully that starts getting down to the threads. The commander engine is still seized. I could not budge it at all in either direction, so this head is coming out of the Lark due to the missing spring, rocker arm, and end piece for the that stuff right there. Right there. So, as soon as I finish getting that one bolt loose, I should be ready to pry the head off this engine. Get a look at the pistons, at least the top of the pistons. See if it spins over a little smoother, easier without the head on. I have no idea what took this engine out of service. I suspect it has something to do with valves, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm a bit of an idiot. There are more bolts in between the rocker arms. Yeah. There's more bolts. I hope I didn't screw it up too much. Oh well. Time to get at those. And of course, my socket's too big to fit between the rocker arms and push rods. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that entire rocker arm assembly. And as I'm working on this, hey there. You look like you've been hit by a car at some point. Big gimpy leg. Anyhow, they're daily guests. I got 27 minutes left, apparently. Let's see if we can't get the head off. So I've got the head in the kitchen now. Good place for it. I'm going to assume that some of this indicates that there was blow-by. Could just be from me trying to get the freaking gasket off and spraying all kinds of oil. I'm going to hit it with a brass brush just around each of the valve areas, hoping to, I guess, mostly clean out some of those passages that are nearly stuck, completely clogged. And This thing is heavy, and it gets heavier the more tired I get. Kind of funny how that works. Anywho, hoping that there is no cracking. That's most of what I want to find out right now. So I'll clean what I can of the surface of it, and I guess we shall see. So some of the valves are marked like that. So the one valve has, I guess, a little divot in the one side, the other, another's got the marking. So that, and then we've got valves with no markings. One still has the divot, other has no markings. And then we got this one. Both of them are, I guess, different. After a quick hit with the brass wheel, which destructed fairly quickly, it looks pretty nice. I don't see any obvious sign of cracking at this point, but I don't know. I gotta do a lot more cleaning. There's a couple of these that look like they might be worse than others, but yeah, so far looks alright. So the head gasket that was in it doesn't fit very well. The, I guess, lobes of it don't fit very well. There's overhangs. Each of these galleries is a small hole, and that's each of these big holes where I'm assuming water or oil flows through. Most likely water, based on the horrible crusty rust that's going through it. So on one side we've got these larger areas that don't line up very well. So that overhangs too. So I'm wondering if somebody didn't put the wrong head gasket on this, or if it's just manufactured to the wrong spec. Are there different head gaskets for different model years? Would that be an original or a later head with an original or a later gasket? It's got these copper areas. I don't know. That just seems kind of questionable to me. Gonna do some more cleanup on it. And yeah, most of these were almost completely clogged with rust and nasty crud. You can see up on these where, if I zoom in, there's an outline where the gasket was, and it did not line up very perfectly with the holes. You see in the gasket, these holes were huge and they didn't have to be. those holes were tiny and they might have, probably should have been bigger. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some more looking around. Anyhow, more cleaning. More problems with the gasket. There should have been a hole here based on there was a passage. I was trying to pass through here. That would be these holes. Completely blocked. And apparently should exist on both sides. And it's resulted in this one is completely clogged. These other ones had crud in them. I'm gonna lean towards that's the wrong gasket for this head. And might be why there were some issues. So the engine's going to come out of the car. Everything's going to be torn apart, and I'm going to go ahead and order the full rebuild gasket set. And if I can figure out what kind of rings, what size rings I need, I'll go ahead and replace the rings on the pistons, hoping the pistons are all in good enough condition when I get them out that I can reuse those. And I'm going to see if I can't just rehone the cylinders. Most of them looked alright. One looks like it had surface rust, but it does not look pitted. And I can't feel the rust. It's pretty darn smooth. Also found out my fuel pump works. I was turning the engine over by hand, and fuel started squirting out where I had pulled the carburetor off. Kinda neat. Anywho. Probably still need to replace the gasket in the fuel pump. Dremel wire wheels are pretty darn useless. This is pretty disgusting. This hole should be easily twice that. Yeah, that was completely blocked by easily over a quarter-inch of compacted rust and crud. There was no hole on the gasket for that hole. The machining on the head, should it be, yeah, rough enough to, you can feel it as you drag your nail over it. That's really coarse. I don't know. I just hope it's still flat and can hopefully get cleaned properly. I'd like to be able to reuse it.